Good morning, all of you. So, how is the temperature today? I thought that most of you will be absent today. Because of the weather. Right. So, any questions from the last lecture? Moving ahead? Okay. Yeah, good morning, Shubhalakshmi. So, today, the topic into which we are entering is a topic related to group dynamics. Okay? So, you need to be very imaginative to understand this topic, because it is out of personal experience that you will be able to appreciate the ideas. So yesterday we were looking at what are the advantages of raising community consciousness, isn't it? And we saw that when we become aware about the belongingness to a group or a community, we set a standard of behavior for ourselves. Our community consciousness also incite us to rise against the injustice. We protest, we register a collective protest against the injustice which is done to our groups. And that happens only when we are conscious about our community. If not, it will not happen. Okay? Now you can see how community consciousness pays off. It can lead to both antisocial behaviors as well as pro-social behavior. Now, 2 years ago, I guess, there was an incident in Delhi in which the Delhi police officers were attacked by a auto driver, Sikh auto driver, in Mukherjee Nagar area, near Mukherjee Nagar police station. And then the police beaten up the auto driver very brutally. And we saw that the entire Sikh community rose against Delhi police. And eventually, Delhi police had to give a written apology. So there was no action initiated against the Sikh auto driver who actually attacked the police. Rather, Delhi police came to back foot. Are you getting it? And this all happened because of the power of community. So when community consciousness arises, it prevents the majority exploiting the minorities, the powerful exploiting the weaker sections, right? So Saracen believes that individual does not need psychological treatment to address his distress. He needs more is the support of the community. So if I am living in a community which is caring and compassionate, I need not think about taking care of myself. If somebody is there to take care of me, why should I bother about myself, right? And it's always the other people who can take a better care of ourselves than we ourselves can. Okay. The fourth method adopted by community psychology is power. Now here comes another community psychologist whose name is Rappaport. Rappaport believes that instead of protection, what the weaker sections require is empowerment. Instead of protection, what the weaker sections require is empowerment. So when power is given in the hand of people who are battling with weakness and disadvantage, they become capable of changing their destiny and fate. They become capable of addressing to their problems. So instead of giving protection to rights of weaker section, it is more important that you give them the power to rule themselves. So empowerment is all about self-rule. It is all about self-rule and making people independent. Making people independent. So when the weaker sections are given power, they become capable of mending their destinies. And here you can cite as many examples as possible. Like compulsory reservation to women in Gram Panchayat is an attempt towards empowerment. Okay? Formation of cooperative societies for women, especially that has taken place in Gujarat. So now women have been empowered because they have the source of income. They have the money in their control. So in Gujarat, we see the highest rate of women empowerment because all business, all money is owned by women in the family. So group of women will be making achar, papad, butter, okay? The Anand movement. So what is this? It is empowering people who are in need. Rather than protecting the rights of women, the women were given the ownership of the economic resources. And now they can take care of their rights. And now they are capable of taking care of their rights because they have money at their disposal. Okay? So Rappaport emphasizes empowerment over protection. And if you emphasize empowerment over protection, then it also requires de-empowerment. De-empowerment of authorities. Like, if we wish to strengthen the Panchayat Raj institutions, then it will require decentralization of power. That means de-empowerment of authorities will lead to transfer of power from the authority that is centralized to the grassroots level democracy, right? So empowerment will always be accompanied by de-empowerment of authorities. So somebody has to transfer the power to someone else. Somebody has to transfer the power to someone else. For example, my daughter will need me for her requirements because she is young. You know, she doesn't have her own bank account. She has to depend upon the money resting in my account. Now, as she would grow up, I would definitely open her account. You know, as she becomes major, I will definitely give her an account and access to resources. Once she gets access to resources, she will be relatively independent of my control and authority. Although I don't have any authority over her. कहने का बात है. Okay, now coming to small group formation, the method of small group formation. Crosby. Small group formation. अब इससे अलग से क्वेश्चन आता है. You will get separate question from small group alone. Very important topic. And as I said, you need to be imaginative to understand this topic. Now, Crosby has defined small groups as group of people, collection of people who meet in face-to-face communication, who meet face-to-face or through social media frequently. Is a collective of people, collection of people who meet either face-to-face or through social media collectively. Okay? Like you people meet with each other face-to-face every day because of a common purpose. So the second point is share common identity. So all of you are here because all of you are students of psychology. So you share a common identity, right? And third, share exhaustiveness of purpose and interest. So you are not just student of psychology, you are also aspiring for civil service. And for civil service, alone psychology is not going to save your soul. You need to also manage time for your general studies. So as I keep hanging the class longer and longer and I keep you pushing close towards prelims exam, you will start panicking about prelims exam. कि सर ये साइकोलॉजी खत्म कब होगा, हम जीएस कब पढ़ेंगे, और पूरी क्लास मुझसे ये शिकायत करेगी. This is called exhaustiveness of purpose. So you are not related to each other only in terms of psychology. You are also related to each other in terms of general studies and so many other aspects of this examination. So exhaustiveness of purpose and interest. And please don't panic. मैं पहले भी बोल चुका हूं, आज भी बोल रहा हूं, 115 लेक्चर लगते हैं, वो लगेंगे ही. ठीक है. अब आपको पीटी लिखना है नहीं लिखना वो आपका प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन ये लगेगा, इतना कुर्बानी देना होगा. And number 4, who are guided by certain common standards. Let me change the page. Guided by certain common standards of language, mannerism, language, mannerism, and inhibitions. If I take the example of this class, you share a common system of language with each other. You know your limits, that what is the way I should talk to my fellow classmate, or what is the language I should be using with my teacher. You never violate that. And all of you maintain that standard, isn't it? So common standard of language, mannerisms are common. All of you are sitting in a proper formal posture. So you are maintaining that mannerism. Before entering the class, if I am already in the class, people ask permission, they seek permission. And this is something which was not told to you before the beginning of the class. You have adopted yourself. And everybody respects that, isn't it? Nobody is looking odd man out. You are sharing this common mannerism, and you are also sharing common inhibitions. So when I'm talking, you are just listening. You're not talking in between. And if you have to say something or ask something, you seek permission by raising your hands. So you are following some inhibitions as long as you are in the class. But if you are outside the class, you are in your private zone, public zone, you don't follow these norms, do you? So here you are actually forming a small group. Although the group is not so small, almost 90 people are there. But if I reduce the size of this group, then yes, this classroom can be defined as a small group, right? Okay. Now, small group examples can be work committees, members of a club, psychology class, ठीक है, college friends, kitty groups, daily commuters, sharing public transport, daily commuters sharing public transport, 8-5 का local, ठीक है. These are examples of small groups. Now, small groups are just a number they may not be essentially meaningfully related to each other. Small groups may be a collection of people who represents a number, and they are not meaningfully related to each other. We cannot say that a small group is a social group as long as they are not meaningfully related to each other. I'm not talking about this psychology class. I'm talking in general. So when can we say that a group is a social group? So what makes a group a social group is the question. What makes a group a social group? Social groups are group of people who are meaningfully related to each other. So what makes a group a social group? Consider this example. Say half a dozen people are waiting in the big bazaar paying counter to pay off their bills. They are lined up in the queue. So number of people in the queue are half a dozen, that is 6 people who do not know each other. Can we call them a social group? No. They are just collection of people who are waiting in the queue. Say 500 people watching a movie in the theater, totally unrelated to each other. Can we call them a social group? We can't call them a social group, isn't it? Say you go to the college for the first day and you sit in the classroom and the professor is giving a lecture. Are the students a social group? First day in the college. They are not a social group. They are just present in the same place, in the same time. That's all. They are no way meaningfully related to each other. There must be some triggering mechanism. Don't write, I'll make you write. Don't worry. There must be some triggering mechanism. There must be some event. There must be something to happen in this occasion that can convert these collectives or number of people into a social group. Say 6 people waiting in the big bazaar queue. Let somebody collapse out of them. Let one person collapse in the queue. You will find the other 5 now behaving with a common purpose. Somebody will be calling ambulance, somebody will be pouring water, somebody will be giving cardiac massage. Everybody will engage with a common purpose, and now they cannot be called unrelated people. They have got related to each other. Now they have become a social group. Say people watching movie in the theater are unknown to each other, but let there be a fire in the theater. You will find all 500 people will be acting as a collective to find how to exit from the theater. Okay? And in the classroom, if the professor is frequently appreciating or praising the students or frequently criticizing the students, you will find all the students will feel like a group. So there has to be some triggering mechanism before number of people who claim to be a group become a social group. So now you can take few lines. Half a dozen people waiting in a shopping mall for checkout, or group of viewers in a theater, or a group of viewers in a theater, or students attending a lecture. Are just examples of group of individuals, who are present in the same place at the same time. And are in no way related to each other. and are in no way related to each other. They will not turn into a social group until something happens. They will not turn into a social group until something happens that gets them together. For example, one man collapsing in the shopping mall, fire in the theater, one man collapsing in the shopping mall, fire in the theater, or constant praising or criticism, or constant praising or criticism by the professor in the class. May make the students feel like a group. So when collection of people begin to feel like a group, the phenomena is known as groupiness. When collection of people begin to feel like a group, the phenomena is known as groupiness according to Campbell. According to Campbell. Groupiness induces the feeling of in-group and feeling of out-group. Groupiness involves feeling of in-group and feeling of out-group. So you begin to perceive some people as belonging to in-group member and rest of the others belonging to out-group members. This feeling of in-group and out-group is known as groupiness. And in technical terms of sociology, it is known as a tongue-twisting anti-tativity. Anti-tativity. Entity से बना है, anti-tativity. Other name for groupiness. So if you have difficulty using this term anti-tativity, then you use groupiness. Now, anti-tativity or groupiness determines one's self-esteem. It determines one's self-esteem. I'll explain how. First, you write satisfaction of special needs like security. Satisfaction of special needs like security. Moderation of perception of loss. Moderation of perception of loss. Diffusion of responsibility. And pro-social, antisocial, and bystander behaviors. Pro-social, antisocial, and bystander behaviors. Bystander, spelling मत पता होना चाहिए. Now I'll explain you what you have written. But before that, I give you a minute. Can you really understand what you have written right now? Groupiness determines your self-esteem. You have to tell me how. It satisfies your special needs like security. This is very easy to understand. And then what we said? It moderation the perception of loss. It moderates the perception of loss. And then what we said? It leads to diffusion of responsibility. And then we said it is responsible for your pro-social behavior, your anti-social behavior, as well as your bystander behavior. Now I give you 1 minute to think examples that how groupiness can lead to all these things. ठीक है, ये ग्रुप डायनामिक्स का क्वेश्चन है, आप सोच के देखो. You can actually create a genius answer for each of these points, but you have to be imaginative. Online, you also think. I give you 1 minute and I'll come back to you. Yes, who will answer? How does it affect your self-esteem? I have taught you. Yes, Abhik, would you like to answer? Okay. Subbalakshmi. Yes, Subbalakshmi.
So, self-esteem meaning it's knowing one's worth. When we are in a group, we set a target which not be able to achieve in one individual when we are alone. But when we are in a group, we can capable of doing that.
I want you to think from the chapter of social integration. Yes, Vikas, बताओ.
इसको ऐसा ले सकते हैं जैसे कि सर ऑनर किलिंग होती है, वो ग्रुप वाले होते हैं.
सेल्फ एस्टीम की बात हो रही है.
As if we take the example of Jat community, they think that they belong to a particular community or you can say Jat community self-esteem की तरह.
Yes, you are close. I told you about Henry Tajfeld's social identity theory in Problems of Social Integration, if you remember. How good we feel about ourselves is called self-esteem. Self-esteem means what is your reputation about yourself, right? How good you feel about yourself. And how good we feel about ourselves depends to a large extent how good we feel about the group to which we belong. So when we feel that we belong to a particular group, we are part of this group, and we feel good about that group, it enhances our self-esteem. That because I am member of this esteemed group, I am somebody special. Members of Lions Club, member of Jat community, member of that community, So these people will be prejudiced. They will have an in-group superiority feeling. So it somewhat the other way affects the self-esteem of the person. So you will not like to stay in the group whose perception is very bad, whose image is very bad. You will always take pride in yourself for being member of an elite group, member of a esteemed group. So it affects your self-esteem. Second is it satisfies your special need of security. So when you are part of the group, you are not afraid of many dangers and threats that can threaten your sense of well-being. मेरे अकेले के साथ थोड़ी होगा तो सबके साथ होगा. तो ये मान लेने से आपका जो सेंस ऑफ वेलबींग है वो बच जाता है. Isn't it? For example, lockdown and loss of job. That did not happen to one individual. It happened to everybody. lack of income, cutting down the wages, salary wages. Nobody complained. Why? Because it happened collectively to all. Okay? So it satisfies your special need of security. So you don't feel insecure because it is happening to everybody. So because it is happening to everybody, we are a collective force, we can stand against it. For example, when there was loss of job or loss of salary, etc., the rents, the rents taken by the landlords were waived off or they were reduced to half. Rent revisions were not done. Why it was not done? Because it was not happening with an individual, it was happening to everybody. The rates of property did not shoot up, rather they depreciated. So, जब ग्रुप एक साथ खड़ा हो जाता है मुश्किल में भी, तो क्या होता है कि मुश्किलें भी एक साथ कम होने लगती. So it satisfies your sense of special need of security. Number third, it leads to moderation of loss. ठीक है, आपका लॉस मॉडरेट हो जाता है क्योंकि ये सबके साथ हो रहा है. Like in the COVID crisis, in the pandemic crisis, almost every second house lost a family member. So the amount of grief that reduced, the amount of mourning that reduced, because it happened to everybody. Means the condition was so bad that people did not even, in the first wave, people did not even get the dead body of their loved ones. And because it happened to everybody, nobody complained. No one complained. लेकिन अगर एक आदमी के साथ ऐसा हो कि आपके प्रियजनों को डेड बॉडी नहीं देंगे तो वो लड़ बैठेगा. ठीक है, तो moderation of loss and then diffusion of responsibility. So when we are in a group, we share the responsibility, and the burden of responsibility on one single soldier gets diffused to everybody. Like you were talking about honor killing. ठीक है, honor killing होता कैसे है? Because Khap Panchayat is a group which is taking a decision. Now, because they are taking a decision, they take risky shift, they take harsh decisions. Why? Because the responsibility gets diffused amongst all the members present in the Khap. ठीक है? So, diffusion of responsibility. And this is cause behind pro-social behavior. Group can engage in pro-social behavior, like many people who existed as a part of club, as a members of friends circle, as a member of kitty group, they came forward to help people during the pandemic time. Pro-social behavior. सारे लोग इकट्ठा आगे आए. As a group, they came together. For example, in my society, a group of people organized community kitchen to supply food to those families which are suffering from corona. Are you getting it? अब वो community kitchen में क्या एक आदमी थोड़ी खाना बना रहा था, हर एक परिवार एक एक टाइम का खाना बना रहा था. ठीक है, हर एक परिवार कोई दिन का खाना बना रहा है, कोई रात का खाना बना रहा है, रोटेशनल बेसिस, और एक परिवार उसको पहुंचा रहा है. Are you getting it? Community kitchen, because corona people will not have domestic help. They can't go to the market. They are confined, they are quarantined within their home. So how will they eat? How will they cook? So there has to be somebody to help them. That is pro-social behavior. And it cannot be done by an individual. It requires the help of a group. Likewise, antisocial behavior, like honor killing by the Khap Panchayats. And likewise, the bystander behavior. What is bystander behavior? Bystander behavior is, we are not likely to get help in presence of many helpers. तो कई बार ग्रुप के होने की वजह से मदद नहीं मिलती है. हाँ, we are not likely to get help in presence of many helpers. We are more likely to get help in presence of few helpers. This is bystander behavior. So small group has impact on so many aspects of social behaviors, right?
Then these group of people can be antisocial.
No, you can take it in a pro-social manner also. In Delhi NCR region, many builders took the money from the buyers and did not completed the construction on time. And the buyers are continuously paying the EMI without getting the possession of the property. Now, all such buyers formed an association and filed a petition in the Supreme Court, subsequent to which the compensation was paid to the buyers. So group can stand as a collective force also, you know. Okay. Now, factors influencing groupiness. Factors influencing groupiness. Similarity. Similarity. Similarity of interest, traits, similarity of interest, traits, beliefs, interest, traits, beliefs, and status enhances groupiness. ठीक है? Like there is a sense of groupiness amongst poor people. ठीक है? ये बड़े लोग हैं, इन्हें हमारी परवाह नहीं, इन्हें मेरी परवाह नहीं, हमारी परवाह नहीं, हमारी शब्द, the word is हमारी. So there is a feeling of groupiness, isn't it? The employers, they only take care of their interests. They're not bothered about the interest of the employees. Now all employees have a feeling of groupiness. Why? Because similarity in interest, similarity in condition, similarity in status, similarity in traits. If you share common traits, you will have that feeling of groupiness. For example, if you're born in Afghanistan, you will be a fighter. In India, you will be a peacemaker. Because that is the trait of the group. And Afghan is supposed to be a warrior. आप क्या समझते हैं अफगानिस्तान में कभी ये प्रॉब्लम खत्म होगा? अरे ये लड़ेंगे नहीं तो करेंगे क्या? इनका ट्रेट है, नहीं इनका ट्रेट है. From since beginning of the history, Afghans have been warriors. If they do not have any reason to fight, they will find out a reason to fight. They have games, you know, that are inherently fighting in nature. जैसे बुर्ज कशी, ये दुनिया में किस देश में खेला जाता है बताओ? सच अ रूथलेस गेम. बुर्ज कशी क्या होता है पता है? The tribals come in their horses and they throw ropes over the sheep. भेड़ के गर्दन में रस्सी बांधते हैं और घुड़सवारों का दल उसको एक बाएं तरफ खींचता है, एक दाएं तरफ खींचता है. जो शीप को अपने तरफ ले लिया, वो शीप वो ग्रुप खाएगा. अब उस शीप का हालत सोचो, अगर मेनका गांधी होगी तो एनिमल राइट के नाम पे उसको रोक देगी इमीडिएटली. ठीक है? कितना ब्रूटल टॉर्चर है. बुर्ज कशी खेल है वहां का. हाँ, इन अफगानिस्तान. ठीक है? अरे बहुत सारी फिल्मों में दिखा है, फिरोज खान की फिल्मों में दिखा है बुर्ज कशी. यू नो, दो ट्राइब्स के घुड़सवार आएंगे, ऐसा रस्सी फेंकेंगे, उधर वाला भी फेंकेगा, और फिर कौन रस्सी के सहारे भेड़ को अपनी तरफ खींच सकता है. और भेड़ का बेचारे का गला, मुंह से खून निकल रहा है, भेड़ मर रहा है. अल्टीमेटली जिसने भी भेड़ जीता वो विजयी हुआ, और उस दिन वो भेड़ कटेगा और सब में बटेगा. ठीक है? अब देखो, ये इस तरह का तो गेम है. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट अलेक्जेंडर? When Alexander visited Afghanistan and he wrote a letter to his mother, that mother, I am in a land where the soil, if you touch the soil, it makes you a warrior. So his mother said that send me the soil. So he packed, one sack of soil from Afghanistan and sent it to Greece, to his mother, and said that don't keep it in home, keep it outside the palace and see to it that nobody nears that soil. क्योंकि जो भी उसके सामने जाएगा वो मारपीट शुरू कर देगा. तो वह क्या कि महल के पिछवाड़े में वो बैग रख दिया उसकी माँ ने. ठीक है? Now one of the soldier, one of the guards of the palace came to watch the sack and the other guard said, please don't come close to it. राजमाता ने मना किया यहाँ आने से. बोला तू कौन होता है मुझे रोकने वाला? ठीक है, दोनों आपस में लड़े और दोनों ने एक दूसरे का कत्ल कर दिया। अफगानिस्तान का मिट्टी तो ये है सिर्फ आप सोच के देखो ना, वो लड़ेंगे नहीं तो करेंगे क्या, वो उसका ट्रेट है, बेसिक ट्रेट है। ठीक है, so there are some traits, although we do not believe so strongly in trait theories, but there are some basic traits. For example, राजपूतों के बारे में एक कहावत है कि अगर राजपूत छत पे खड़ा है, तुमने जमीन नीचे से ललकार दिया तो वो सीढ़ियों से नीचे नहीं आएगा, वो कूद ही मार देगा। उसको अगर मारना है ना, तो जब छत पे खड़ा हो नीचे से जाके गाली दो, वो सीधा जंप मारेगा। Like Sher Shah. You know the story of Sher Shah and Babur? Sher Shah was governor of Bihar when Babur was emperor of Delhi Sultanate. Now Babur organized a party in which he invited all the governors, like governors of Awadh, governor of Bihar, and all the governors were invited. And they were served with fruits, apples and all. Now everybody was cutting the apple with knife. Sher Shah took out his sword and he was cutting the apple with his sword. Babur told Humayun that be watchful of this man. He is going to create trouble in future. And exactly that happened. Sher Shah displaced Humayun. Humayun को गंगा जी में कूद के अपना जान बचाना पड़ा। तो वो ट्रेट दिख जाता है। देखो योद्धा कौन है? जो किसी एक्सटर्नल वेपन का यूज नहीं करता, वो एप्पल काटने के लिए भी खून से सना हुआ तलवार का इस्तेमाल कर रहा है। द पर्सन हु मेड ग्रैंड ट्रंक रोड, शेर शाह। ठीक है, so similarity is one thing. Yes, Partha, tell me.
Sir, is it the group identity, the similarity?
Huh?
Can we call the similarity as a group identity?
Yes, yes, similarity leads to group identity. Groupiness means group identity. ठीक है. Second is communication. Second factor that influences groupiness is communication. Greater the frequency of communication, more shall be the groupiness. So who are the people with whom you are in frequent touch, either on telephonic conversation or face-to-face interaction? As the communication reduces, groupiness also reduces. It fades away. It becomes a forgotten group. You will see WhatsApp group of friends. In WhatsApp group of friends, some people are very active and some people are totally dormant. So when many people become totally dormant, the person who is active, he calls them personally. He sends provocative messages. क्या हो गया? कहाँ मर गए? इस तरह का. So that people come and participate. So more frequently the communication takes place, more shall be the groupiness. Interdependence. Interdependence. For example, when students are required to engage in group project work, the sense of groupiness enhances. So students working over a project work increase the sense of groupiness. So मेरा group को first prize मिलना चाहिए. We should be the toppers. For example, when I was pursuing my geology, ठीक है? So in geology we had to construct many topographical maps, and making the maps was not. It cannot be done by a single individual. It required help of a group. So if you are working in a group, things will be easier. ठीक है, तो जैसे पहले मेरे मैप्स बनाए गए तो सबने मदद की, फिर जब उसकी मैप बनाने में मैंने मदद की तो सब लोग मिल करके एक बंदे का मैप एक दिन में तैयार करते थे. तो 7 days का प्रोजेक्ट वर्क होता था. मंडे मेरा बनेगा, ट्यूसडे तुम्हारा बनेगा, वेडनेसडे तुम्हारा बनेगा, एंड एवरीबडी एंश्योर्ड देयर प्रेजेंस टू मेक दोस टोपो शीट्स. स्ट्रक्चरल मैप्स है ना, वो सिर्फ कंटूर्स होता था. 2 dimensional पेज में कंटूर्स होते थे. उस कंटूर्स को कहां से फोल्ड करके कैसे कैसे आपको उसका स्ट्रक्चर बनाना है, अंडर द ग्राउंड रॉक बेड्स किस तरह से हैं, दे वर क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट टास्क. इंजीनियरिंग काइंड ऑफ काम था. तो उसमें आप अकेले नहीं कर सकते। प्रिसिशन अगर 1 सेंटीमीटर भी इधर उधर हो गया, नंबर कट जाते थे। और हमारा एचओडी को पता नहीं, आंख में माइक्रोस्कोप लगा हुआ था कि क्या, उसको 1 सेंटीमीटर मिलीमीटर का भी इधर उधर दिख जाता था। ठीक है, एक्सपीरियंस है। ओके, देन स्ट्रक्चर। Structure. The social roles, norms and customs. The social roles, norms, customs, and practices, when well defined, enhances groupiness. When social roles, structures, norms, practices, traditions are well defined, enhance groupiness. I'll give you a few examples. And don't think that sir is giving personal example, तो कैसा कितना चीज देखते हैं, नहीं, मैं रिलेट करता हूँ चीजों को. For example, when I go to the teacher's room, I prefer sitting in a particular chair. Now, if some other teacher is sitting in that chair, I don't know why he understands that. He just rises and offers me that chair. I would say, नहीं, बैठो बैठो, मैं कहीं और बैठ जाता. बोला, नहीं सर, मैं जानता हूँ आपको यहाँ बैठना पसंद है, आप यहाँ बैठिए. Now see, उस आदमी को पता है कि मुझे वहां बैठना पसंद है और वो उस चीज को रेस्पेक्ट कर रहा है. That means he is following a practice. A long standing practice has been that we have always seen Souvik Sen in that chair. So he deserves that chair. Let us offer him that chair. So I feel like going to the teacher's room. Now imagine the opposite. I go to the teacher's room, I see that my favorite chair is preoccupied. One day I may go, 2 days I may go, 3rd day I will not enter the teacher's room altogether. I would prefer sitting in the 2nd floor office. मेरी बात समझ रहे हैं? तो जब हम जानते हैं कि हमारे अधिकार सुरक्षित हैं, group will follow a norm, nobody will talk out of turn, you will be heard when you are speaking, and nobody will say something that can get you embarrassed, then you feel like staying in that group. ठीक है? अब कुछ लोग हैं हर ग्रुप में होते हैं जो कब क्या बोल बैठेंगे उसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है. And for that, all the group members will feel embarrassed. Like some people have habit of abusive language. अब ऐसे लोगों को घर में बुलाना बड़ा मुश्किल है, क्योंकि घर में बच्चे भी होते हैं. वो कोई गलत इरादे से नहीं बोल रहे, लेकिन उनका मुंह जब भी खुलता है तो वही निकलता है. मुंह ना हो गया डस्टबिन हो गया, खुलेगा तो कचरा निकलेगा. तो ऐसे लोगों को आप अवॉइड करने की कोशिश करेंगे. यू विल ट्राई टू अवॉइड देयर प्रेजेंस, राइट? यस पार्था.
Sir, in a social context, we have seen gradually the prestige of the civil servant that reduces due to some kind of political influence and other things. So, sir, that is because of this kind of structure. People
I'm not getting your question.
Sir, actually, we have seen in the last few years the prestige of the bureaucrat reduces.
Are reducing?
Yes, sir. In case of at least West Bengal, the politician always overpowered them. So is it that kind of trend because of structure?
Maybe because they lack groupiness.
Okay, sir.
In case they stand as a collective force, as it happened in Delhi. The chief secretary of Delhi was abused by one of the ministers in Kejriwal's government, in Kejriwal's home. So all the IAS Officers Association of Delhi went on strike. Within 8 hours, Kejriwal had to give a written apology. काम कौन करेगा? दिल्ली सरकार चलेगी कैसे? मेरी बात समझ रहे हैं? एक फाइल नहीं आगे बढ़ेगा. So that is groupiness. If they stand as a collective force, the government has to bow down. ठीक है? Anyways, structure. जब structure होगा, तो you will be comfortable. For example, if you are organizing a party, then who are the people you should invite? You should never invite a mixture of people who do not gel well with each other. Otherwise, you will see there will be some hangama in your party will get spoiled. तो दो अलग अलग यॉनर के लोगों को एक साथ नहीं लाना है. ठीक है? जैसे कुछ दोस्त हैं जो बहुत प्यारे हैं आपको, लेकिन उनको पता नहीं कि कौन से सीक्रेट्स बाहर वालों को बताने हैं, कौन से नहीं बताने. तो जब आप उस दोस्त को बुलाए हैं तो बाहर वालों को मत बुलाइए, क्योंकि वो क्या करेगा, वो बेबाक कुछ भी बोलेगा. They will start talking anything and everything that might be very close secret between the friends, that should not be revealed in public. So this is again a social skill. This is a matter of emotional intelligence, that how well you know your friends. Okay. The norms which are set in the group can either be prescriptive. The norms that are set in the group can either be prescriptive, that means what you should do, or proscriptive, what you should not do. Proscriptive means what you should not do. Prescriptive means what you should do. So when the definitions are very clear, what I'm supposed to do in a group and what I'm not supposed to do, and you follow those prescriptions and proscriptions, then obviously groupiness increases. The fifth factor that influences groupiness is absence of role stress. Absence of role stress. Absence of role stress involves two elements. Absence of role stress involves two elements. First is absence of contradictory roles. Absence of contradictory roles. For example, the same person cannot be the player at the same time the coach. The same person cannot be the player as well as the coach. And assigning appropriate roles. Assigning appropriate roles. So suppose the group is organizing a picnic, and different individuals in the group are given responsibility of different objects. So you will be responsible for arranging the fruits. You will be responsible for arranging the vegetables. You will be responsible for arranging the animals, that is non-vegetarian, and you will be responsible for arranging the alcohol. Now the person who has been given the responsibility of arranging alcohol is a non-alcoholic. तो इनअप्रोप्रिएट रोल असाइनमेंट हो गया. ठीक है, आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन आदमी कौन सा चीज मैनेज कर सकता है. ठीक है. And number 6 is self-identity. When the individual feels that his self-esteem increases by being the member of the group, groupiness increases. When the individual feels that one's self-esteem enhances by being a member of that group, groupiness increases. For example, audience prefer to wear the t-shirt labeled with the winning team. Like when India plays World Cup, you will find Indians in the stadium will be wearing t-shirt of Indian team, the sky blue t-shirt with national flag. Okay. So these are all factors that affects groupiness. And now we will see the stages of formation of group. This is again very imaginative topic, and you have to be very thoughtful about this. Stages of development of small groups. Stages of development of small groups. Almost every type of small groups undergoes several changes. Almost every type of small groups undergoes several changes. For example, members may come and go. So group will stay alive. Members may keep replacing each other. Members may come and go. Okay? Goals of the group may keep changing. Goals of the group may change. Okay? Like before marriage, the group of friends that I had, all were bachelors. So we had different goals during leisures. But after marriage, the goals altogether changed. 180 degrees change. ठीक मैं आपको बताऊंगा मेरे साथ कितना बुरा हुआ था. लोधी रोड में एक पार्क है, वहां पे होली में होली पार्टी ऑर्गेनाइज होता है. तो मेरे सभी दोस्तों को निमंत्रण पत्र मिला, मुझे भी मिला. अच्छा, बाकी दोस्तों की शादी हो गई थी, एंड आई डिड नॉट नो कि दे अलाउ ओनली कपल एंट्री. आई वॉज अ बैचलर. मुझे गेट से लौटा दिया. इतनी बेइज्जती. मेरे दोस्त अंदर होली खेल रहे हैं, भांग पी रहे हैं, अब मुझे गेट से लौटा दिया. बताओ. उसके बाद मेरी शादी हुई, उन्होंने दोबारा निमंत्रण भेजा. मैंने निमंत्रण पत्र फाड़ दिया. नहीं जाऊंगा. When group faces crisis, like death of the leader, the group may undergo sudden change. The group may undergo sudden change. Further, the group may become irrelevant and redundant. The group may become irrelevant and redundant once they have successfully achieved the goal. The group may become irrelevant and redundant once they have successfully achieved the goal. Like the viewers inside the theater with a fire. Once they have come out successfully from the exit, they disperse. The group will not exist anymore. Okay. Now, the stages of formation of group, the stages of development of group was given by Tuckman and Jensen in the year 1979. Tuckman and Jensen. Stages of development of small groups. The following are the stages of development. Forming stage, storming stage, norming stage, and adjourning stage. Forming stage, storming stage, norming stage and adjourning stage are the 4 stages of formation of group. अब आपको अपने अपने ग्रुप के साथ इसको रिलेट करना होगा इसको समझने के लिए, ठीक है? Just give me a minute. When the group is under formation, it occurs when members come together and begin their existence as a group. Forming stage involves members coming together and begin their existence as a group. Now, forming may occur quickly. Forming may occur quickly, like quick appointment of a commission for investigation, or formation of courtroom jury. 5 bench judge सुनवाई करेगी इस मामले का. Chief Justice of India has ordered from his office. Now those 5 judges were unaware that they are going to be a group now, listening to say Shah Bano case, or some other case, important case, or Mandal Commission case. So these juries were totally unrelated. They never knew that they are going to be a group. One fine day in the morning, they received a letter from the Chief Justice of India that you are now going to be the jury, listening to Ram Mandir case, something like that. So quick formation of a committee, courtroom jury, these are quick examples of group formation. And it can be long and continuous. Forming can be long and continuous. For example, workers entering a job and retiring from the job. So some workers will retire, some will join. So the old employees and the new employees will stay for some time together, isn't it? And then the older ones will retire, and to replace them, newer ones will enter. So this type of group will take a longer time for forming because new people are continuously flowing in. It's a process. ठीक है? तो जो बुजुर्ग रिटायर कर गए उसके जगह पर कोई यंग छोकरा आया है, अब उस यंग छोकरे को ग्रुप में शामिल करने में थोड़ा टाइम तो लगेगा, ठीक है? टू एक्सेप्ट हिम एज अ मेंबर यू विल टेक सम टाइम. So factory workers who replace each other after retirement. Now in forming stage, what happens? The group and the individual exchange their knowledge and information during forming stage. The group and the individual exchange their knowledge, information, opinions, attitudes. They try to set norms.
Sir, please repeat from the beginning, the during forming stage.
During forming stage, क्या बोला था मैंने? The individual members come together to exist as a group. ठीक है? Forming stage can be quick or it can be slow. So they exchange their knowledge, information. They try setting the norms, structure. Structure means hierarchy, roles and responsibility. Routines and procedures. Each member explores how to fit oneself in the group. Each member explores how to fit oneself in the group. For example, there is a member in the group who has got great sense of humor. So they easily find acceptance amongst the other members because of their laughter quotient. वो जैसे ही जाता है एकदम हरियाली छा जाती है, ठीक है, वो कुछ ऐसा करेंगे कि entire group will enjoy. So this group has easy time finding their places, but everybody cannot have sense of humor. So those members who do not have sense of humor, they try to figure out कि कैसे मुझे acceptance मिलेगा. So they assume the role of helping hand. They're very helpful and forthcoming. They're ready to help anybody. They're ready to share anybody's task. So their acceptance is in the group because of their helpful nature, right? There are some members who assume the role of follower. They will always follow. And because of those followers, you feel more popular. So they will get an acceptance as follower. Some members assume the role of listeners because they can't talk too much. So they listen and they actively listen. They listen, they respond, they nod their head. So their presence is also accepted. ठीक है, तो हर मेंबर सोचता है कि मैं अपने आप को कहां पे फिट करूं, कैसे फिट करूं. ठीक है, ये फॉर्मिंग स्टेज में हो रहा है. आप अपना जगह ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड अ प्लेस फॉर योरसेल्फ. ठीक है. ग्रुप may be inspecting the individual. Group may be inspecting the individual's characteristics. Group may be inspecting the individual's characteristics in this stage. And judge the individual's appropriateness in the group. Group may be inspecting the characteristic of the individual and judge the individual's appropriateness in the group. So in the group, there may be a member who keeps telling lies. He always tries to fake good. मैंने तो ये कर दिया, मैंने तो मुंह पे बोल दिया, मैंने तो मुंह पे सुना दिया, लेकिन जिनके बारे में वो बोल रहा है उनके सामने वो चमचा है. ठीक है, उसने कभी ऐसा नहीं किया है, लेकिन वो फेंकता है. तो ग्रुप एग्जामाइन करता है क्लोजली. एक बार it can go unnoticed, second time it can go unnoticed, third time the person will be caught, and the moment he is caught, there is a news in the group, don't trust whatever he says. Now he is just for the namesake a member of the group actually has no connect with that person. So he is a person who is tolerated in the group, he is not welcome in the group, क्योंकि फेकम फेक आदमी है, सिर्फ फेंकता है. ठीक है, ऐसा है एक्सपीरियंस. हाँ, होगा ही. ठीक है, तो वो देखो ग्रुप में आएगा, उठेगा, बैठेगा, वो जितनी देर तक रहेगा सब लोग कोई nobody is liking his presence. The initial investigation may end up with acceptance or rejection. The initial investigation may end up with acceptance or rejection. Obviously, if there is a mole in the group, he will be rejected. Mole in the group मतलब secret reveal कर देना. Like I remember when I was in college in my graduation final year, group of friends went to watch an English adult movie, and one of the members in our group felt so high moral anxiety that he reported the head of the department next day कि इन लोगों ने मुझे जबरदस्ती इंग्लिश मूवी. Mole, rat. What should we do with that person? You tell me. अच्छा, ऐसा नहीं कि उसने, वो जानता नहीं था क्या कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम लोग. टिकट के पैसे उसने भी दिए थे. मैंने कहा जब तू पैसा दे रहा था तुझे क्या लगा माता के जागरण में जा रहे हैं हम लोग? हॉल में बीचों बीच नहीं ऐसे खड़ा हो गया. ठीक है, एंड देन ही रिपोर्टेड द HOD. ठीक है. The initial investigation may end up with acceptance or rejection. Either the group rejects the individual or the individual rejects the group. Either the group rejects the individual or the individual rejects the group. Now, this forming stage is comparable to reality testing in children between the age group of 3 to 5. If you remember, children between the age group of 3 to 5, they try to test their limits. Okay? To what extent I will be accepted and approved for my actions. So in forming stage, every member tries to stretch themselves and see कि कहां तक मुझे entertain किया जा रहा है, beyond which point I'm not entertained. ठीक है? So in the forming stage, you will find many members giving you phone call in the middle of the night. And if you receive their phone call and you also entertain them, they will know that I can call this man anytime. And they will take liberty. But if you do not pick up the call, despite the repeated calling, or if you block the number, next day the member will understand कि बात करना है तो 10 बजे से पहले बात कर लेना है, उसके बाद बात नहीं करना है, तो वो अपनी औकात में आ जाएगा. Are you getting it? So every member will try to test their limits. ठीक है? So they may give you a call and ask you to come to meet at some place in a short notice period of time. Now, if you accept that, then it is done that, okay, you will come anytime. But if you refuse, despite you are free, but you refuse, that means you can't call me anytime. You have to give me advance notice, right? तो हर member अपनी मनमानी करता है ये देखने के लिए कि मुझे किस हद तक बर्दाश्त किया जाए. To what extent I will be tolerated. Now comes the storming stage. This is the most critical stage in group formation. Any group that survives storming stage will continue till the end. ठीक है? ये critical period है. Storming stage. In this stage, the members become assertive and rebellious. The members become assertive and rebellious just like adolescents. Adolescents who are rebellious, assertive, demanding. They wish to get their ideas known and accepted by others. The members wish to get their ideas known and accepted by others. And they also express their independence. And they also express their independence. Most of the groups get disbanded in storming stage. Most of the groups get disbanded in the storming stage. Storming stage में ही ज़्यादातर group टूट जाते हैं. And most successful groups are those which have got past the storming stage. Most successful groups are those which have got past the storming stage. Now, it's not that storming stage is bad. In fact, storming stage determines the level of productivity of the group. Okay? So, conflicts in storming stage may have two impacts. Conflicts arising in the storming stage may have two impacts. First, it may increase the productivity of the group because there are difference of opinion. The group arrives at the best opinion. So it increases the productivity of the group. A parliament without any opposition is no parliament. So when there is conflict in the group, there may be two impacts. One, the productivity of the group may increase, and second, the group may get disbanded. अगर झेल नहीं पाए conflict को, तो group टूट जाएगा. The group may get disbanded. So recently, my college alumni friends made a group and made me a member in that group. And there was a lot of conflict, argument, fighting in the group. And I was the cementing factor. I held all of them together and I encouraged them to fight more. And as the members continued to fight, they developed acceptance towards each other and their abuses. Now they are used to. बोला लड़ो ना, मजा आता है लड़ने में, ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, मतलब लड़ेंगे भिड़ेंगे, फिर दूसरे दिन दोस्ती यारी हो जाएगी। तो अब वो इतना स्टेबल हो गया कि अब लड़ने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, मतलब वन कैन बी लेस्ट एश्योर कि ये कितना भी लड़ ले अलग नहीं होंगे, ठीक है, लेकिन वो लड़ाई तो होना चाहिए ना, until you reach that stage, ठीक है। So there were two possibilities, either the good group could have got disbanded, but because of me it didn't happen that they got disbanded. मैं कॉमन लिंक था, मैं दोनों तरफ को मीठी दवाई खिला देता था, उनको फिर से एक साथ, और फिर आग चिंगारी भी मैं ही लगाता था, लेकिन देखो इसने तुमको ये कहा, ये ठीक नहीं है। Group experiencing no conflict are non-productive. Group experiencing no conflict are non-productive because that shows non-involvement. So if somebody is not taking you seriously, they will not argue against you. That means the person is non-involved. So many people in that alumina group never interfered, never commented upon anything, never took a stand. If two people are fighting, they never took a stand with one. They kept out of that conflict. That shows their non-involvement. They are just there to watch what others are talking and interacting about. इनको कहते हैं ना, इनको कहते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, ये जो सिर्फ देखते हैं, तमाशा देखते हैं, ये कभी कुछ भी पोस्ट नहीं करेंगे, ये किसी को अपने बारे में कोई ओपिनियन बनाने नहीं देंगे. They will not let others make any opinion about themselves because they have never posted anything. But yes, they will keep a watch on. Aha, ये हो रहा है, मजे लेंगे. Most non-involved people, they don't want their involvement. ठीक है. Norming stage. Norming stage. This is the stage when appropriate roles are assigned to the members and appropriate norms are defined. Appropriate roles are assigned to the members and the norms are well defined. Each member begin performing their respective roles. Each member begins to perform their respective roles. Like there is a girl, I would say woman, in our college alumina group who has the record of everybody's birthday. Now it is her responsibility to float happy birthday message on that particular day, following which all the members in the group will be trailing हैप्पी बर्थडे, ठीक है, लेकिन हैप्पी बर्थडे याद कौन कराएगा, उसका ड्यूटी है, क्योंकि उसको सबके डेट्स मालूम है, ठीक है, उसको सबके डेट्स मालूम है. देखो ये बहुत मुश्किल काम है कि आप सबका डेट ऑफ बर्थ याद रखें, क्योंकि आधे से ज्यादा लोग तो अपना डेट ऑफ बर्थ बताने को तैयार नहीं है, क्योंकि बूढ़े हो रहे हैं. आर यू गेटिंग इट? अच्छा, डेट ऑफ बर्थ पूछ लो तो पूछ लो, ईयर भी पूछते हैं, साल बोलो, ठीक है. अब किसी ने साल बोल दिया तो उस पर आर्गुमेंट, फिर हमारे बैच के तुम कैसे हो सकते हो, नहीं तुम मैट्रिक कब पास किए, पहले ये बताओ, व्हेन डिड यू मैट्रिकुलेटेड, तो फंस जाते हैं फिर, ठीक है. तो आधे लोग तो ईयर बताने को तैयार नहीं है, स्पेशली लेडीज, दे विल नेवर रिवील द ईयर, ठीक है. नाउ दैट गर्ल नोज द ईयर बिकॉज लेडीज को बता देती है, तो वो मौके पे विश कर देगी. जैसे ही उसका विश मैसेज आएगा, हम लोग सब तुम जियो हजारों साल. कौन जीता है हजारों साल? It is in this stage that members report high levels of satisfaction. It is in this stage that members report high levels of satisfaction. ठीक है, satisfaction with the group. They begin to strongly identify and relate with the group. They begin to strongly identify and relate with the group. And then comes the final stage, adjourning stage. In adjourning stage, the members prepare themselves to end the group. In adjourning stage, members prepare themselves to end the group. Adjournment takes place when the purpose is accomplished, like group of students preparing for civil service. Once they have exhausted their attempts or qualified the services, that study group disbands itself. ठीक है, क्योंकि उसका relevance खत्म हो गया, purpose accomplished. Or when the members have developed new interest. When the members have developed new interest. Like this classroom is a small group, and this will exist as long as we have not covered the syllabus. The day we conclude the syllabus, this group will not have any common purpose to unite, and therefore it will get adjourned. Okay? Or when the group has found different interest. For example, after our college, during our college, all of us had the same interest, how to get the first division. After college, some is working somewhere, some is working somewhere else. So we have diversity of interest. ठीक है? तो अब हम लोग as a group अगर कोएग्जिस्ट कर सकते हैं तो एल्यूमिना ग्रुप में ही कर सकते हैं, अदरवाइज नहीं. अब मैं टीचर हूं, कोई आईएएस अफसर है, मेरा एक दोस्त है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का बार एसोसिएशन का प्रेसिडेंट, अब उससे मेरा क्या लेना देना? वकील पुलिस वालों से दूरी रहना चाहिए. ठीक है? तो stressful members, now during adjournment stage, stressful members may resist the breakup. Stressful members may resist the breakup. But eventually they agree upon the assurance of reunion. Stressful member may resist the breakup, but eventually they agree upon getting assurance of reunion. अरे दिल छोटा मत करो, हम लोग फिर मिलेंगे. वो फिर मिलेंगे, कब मिलेंगे उसका कोई गारंटी नहीं, बट assurance of reunion. ठीक है? Reunion in future. The members exchange their phone numbers. However, reunion seldom happens and the phone numbers seldom last. मेरे पूरे ग्रुप में सिर्फ मैं एक अकेला आदमी हूं जिसका फोन नंबर आज 15 सालों से नहीं बदला है. बाकी सबका हर साल 15 बार बदल जाता है. तो कौन सा फोन नंबर है? यू डोंट हैव एनी वे टू रीच आउट. ठीक है? नाउ आई कंसिडर इन दिस रिगार्ड दिस इंस्टाग्राम एंड फेसबुक आर वेरी गुड प्लेटफॉर्म्स. At least you get connected with people who are very old, old. But unfortunately, I don't know how to handle Facebook, so I don't have any Facebook account. So this will be for the day. And tomorrow, Neha correctly reminded me, but it was too late, Neha. The previous year's question, have you brought the question bank? कल भी एक बार ले आना प्लीज. कल हम लोग प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करेंगे. ठीक है? क्लास के बिगिनिंग में मुझे नेहा रिमाइंड करवाना.